hat for hap around the house. I was getting curious, and this is, well, this old one here is about 15 years old, this pressure switch. So I popped the top, and sure enough, there was a whole bunch of carbon built up underneath one of the points. So I changed it. I just wanted to show you what, well, we're going to tear that thing right there apart on the table after I get done. Kind of giving an idea how this all works. What you do is you have pressurized well water that is pumped through this right here. You've got your inlet for water, and it pressurizes it, and that will actuate contacts. And as you use pressure, the contacts close, and then your pump comes on and it just repeats. And you have your incoming electrical, which should go up to your box. And it does, 220 volts. You can see right there on the right, it says well, and that corresponds to a switch. You turn that off before doing any work because getting shocked is no fun. It can kill you. So let's shut it off before we do any work. So you have your in electrical, and then your out. And as your contacts close, controlled by your pressure, that's how that works. But it'll make a heck of a lot more sense when we tear this bugger apart right here. We're gonna go upstairs, throw it on the table, tear it apart. We have got a beautiful pressure switch from our well. This has always looked like one of the robots from Star Wars to me. It has a really square head. Maybe I'll find a picture of that. Maybe I won't. Anyways, back to what we're here to talk about. This is your pressure switch. You have your water going in, and then mysteriously, it turns your pump on and off. And most pumps are submersible now, so they're down in the well. So if something goes wrong, you get to pay a well guy to come out to pull the whole thing. Pretty great. This is very seldom screwed on. Very seldom do you go downstairs and it's screwed on. This one was screwed on. And what was happening is we were getting this point right here was starting to char a little bit. So how does this thing work? Well, you have supply come in, and then you have power go to your well. So this is basically your plug, if you're plugging in like your vacuum. When this does this, right here, that's unplugging your vacuum, that's plugging your vacuum in. Unplug, plug. So how does that work? Well, there's a diaphragm in here, and we'll take it apart and we'll show you. That inflates like a balloon, and it puts pressure on like this teeter-totter. This is just like a teeter-totter like you used to ride when you're in, well, you still may ride them. Heck, I don't know. But, you know, when you're on a playground, see how that, like a teeter-totter? And what happens is, as your pump right now is on, and as it pressures up, it's blowing up that diaphragm like a balloon. Pressure, 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 pressure. Oh my gosh. Oh, there we go. And now it goes off because it's reached this spring tension. Right here, you can adjust that. The harder you go down, you're compressing that spring. That's going to make that diaphragm just have to push all that much harder. So right now, your pump is on. It's on. One more time. It's on. Oh, there we go. See how that works? And I'll show you exactly what I mean by a diaphragm. Let's pop this baby apart. Now, safety. You do not need safety glasses for this, but if you have never taken something like this apart, I will show you the proper way to take it apart. This is the proper way to take something apart that you've never taken apart. And what we're checking for is spring tension. Spring tension will take your teeth out, because this doesn't care if it's going to come out easy if there's no spring, or if there is a spring, which there's not. But if there were, this goes launching into whatever is in it. But you can see, I just loosened up them screws, see, and there's no spring tension. Otherwise, it would go like that. And then you know, uh-oh, I've got to take this screw out. Let's say if there was a spring, I would take that screw out, and I would take this screw out, and then I would go find some longer screws, see? I'd go find some screws that are maybe stick out maybe 3/4 of an inch from the surface. And then when it pops, the screws will catch it, because you do not want to catch it. Because I've seen, I remember someone was taking apart a grease gun, and that thing went flying. They didn't release the spring tension, because there's a catch. You pull the little dicky out of the end of the grease gun, and it has a catch, and that releases. He took it out, and man, that thing went launching. No one got hurt, but it was still funny. Okay, where are we at here? Well, now we're going to take, you could use that if you're a football player. Smear it on your finger and put it underneath your eyes. Ooh, except for it stinks. Okay, so here's your diaphragm. So you got your diaphragm here. And what happens, let's put this back on. What happens is, like that. See, that's immediately underneath your teeter-totter. And this is one side of your teeter-totter. And what happens is as it pushes, let's get my finger in the right spot here. Here we go. It'll go like this. It'll push just a little bit. And it'll push those two little points into the bottom here, which is the one side of your teeter-totter. And then your spring's on the other side of the teeter-totter. And that's how it works. It's not magic, but it sure works great, man. Whoever thought of this, genius. Just genius. But that is it. In a nutshell, that is your pressure switch. And it works really good. They're not very expensive, but when they go bad, you're not going to have any water pressure. You're not going to have any water at all. It's going to shut off. Usually what happens is your diaphragm will have a rip in it, and you'll see water. Well, if this was all put together, let's say, and it was on your system. Let's put this back on. We don't really care if the diaphragm's in there, do we? What you'll have is you'll have this, and you'll see water coming down. It'll come down, right? Because this is obviously this is going to be mounted like this on your system. But you'll look underneath and you'll see water. You'll see a trail of water and calcium built up. That means that you're probably losing pressure. So what will happen is you'll hear your pump come on and off, come on and off, come on and off. And, of course, you're going to be walking into a wet area because there's going to be drips all over your floor. But that's not what happened with ours. Ours just had a bad point. And the point, of course, is right here. This point right here, this contact was bad. And so we replaced it. But that is how your pressure switch works. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Glad that we replaced it and won't have a failure. This is Hap for Hap Around the House. If you liked the video, hit that stinking like button. And if you really like our channel, subscribe. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.